This is a leash. It's made to stop that motor from coming up into the boat if you have a hard hit on the water, high speed, a stump.
Theoretically,
yes.
It's going to come up into the boat.
Right.
So that's going to stop it, even if it's turbocharged.
It may look like just rope to everybody else, but it's made out of Vectrin.
But this little thing can save your life. It's made out of what? Hate to give away my secret.
We're a chatterbait. We learned about a jig. Now I'm going to talk to you about a bait that Mr. James Watson, JMFW, have made famous. How many people fish the whopper flopper? About half you guys out there. How many people have caught fish on a whopper flopper? The same half that have thrown it, obviously. The whopper flopper, to me, is the #1 big fish bait for the past 4 or 5 years. James is gonna like this, but I'm bending over his hooks because these fish are actually a little bit active. James, I'm bending over the hooks on your whopper flopper. It's no good anymore. Nope. Bending over your hooks. Did you throw the whopper flopper in the tank? Oh, this is definitely going to my pocket then after that. Or, this bait here said, James says he won $125,000 on it. I will be auctioning it off the highest bidder, starting at $1. $1, I got a bid for $1 from Joe Thomas there. Sign him up. I've been unfriended. So let's talk about this real quick. One thing that I think a mistake that a lot of people make on topwater baits is they don't fish it on the right equipment. When I'm fishing a whopper flopper, a walking bait such as a Zara Smooth, or a River Sea Rover, I'm fishing a buzz bait. #1 thing I throw it on, braided line. Braided line is very important. We're talking 40 to 50 pound test braided line, which actually has the diameter of 12 pound test monofilament. Composite rod, 7 foot to 7'4", the same rod that I would throw the bladed jig on, or a spinnerbait or a crankbait on. 7:3-to-1 gear ratio reel, high speed reel, because the reel is doing the action on the bait and also takes up the line and the slack with it. So making sure you have that combination when you're actually fishing a topwater bait is very, very, very important. So now we're tying up James Watson's $125,000 whopper flopper that we're going to auction off starting at $1 here in a few minutes. He's showing there shaking his head, threatening me. You're dead to me! I'm dead to him, according to him. Such a good friend. I'm his brother. Rescued him. I've taught him everything he knows about bass fishing, and he wants to threaten me like that. Without me, James Watson would not be a professional angler. So, the whopper flopper, very, very simple, easy bait. The youngest angler out here is going to get this bait. Right there. He's right there. Throw it out, and you wind it back. And this bait right here has a particular noise that you can't hear and a particular action that the fish seem to love. That water temperature gets above 54 degrees, and I'm looking for a big fish bite. This is going to be the bait I'm going to throw. What does it imitate? It imitates a lot of different things. It imitates those little baby birds that are on the water. It imitates shad skipping across the water. Once again, I have to reteach James and stuff all over again. It imitates a fleeing bait fish and a noise that the fish don't normally get to hear, but something about it makes them come up and explode on it. Now once again, fishing the moment with this thing. Start out with a standard retrieve on a whopper flopper. 7:3-to-1, 7-to-1 gear ratio, wind it back at your normal speed. It's coming through, plopping through there. Now there's times where you have to take it throw it out there, wind it, stop. Let the ripple settle. Wind it, stop. Let the ripple settle. Wind it, stop. Let the ripple settle. And at some point, at some time, it's gonna go boom! And you're gonna freeze up. Because it's an explosion that you've never ever seen before. And then instinct's gonna tell you and trigger you to go ahead and set the hook. Well, the great part about braided line is you don't have to set the hook with this bait, or your buzz bait, or your walking bait. The braided line has zero stretch to it. So when you're running that bait, it goes boom! You just keep on reeling and load the rod. And you will land 90% of those topwater fish that you've missed before because you've allowed that fish to come up and eat the bait. So now that I've kind of talked about that, I'm actually going to come down and do kind of a question and answer down there for you folks. Because once again, there are no dumb questions. Maybe some dumb answers from me because I'm a fisherman and I lie. But I'm here to answer all your questions, so give me a second. Okay. So in those dog days of summer, I'm looking for the biggest docks I can find with the most shade, the overhanging trees, the thickest grass, the pads that have shade. The one thing about light, when it still penetrates and that water still gets warm down there, if you're not going super duper deep, which I don't like to do, shade is the key in the dog days of summer. But I will tell you this, the biggest fish that I've ever caught have come fishing lily pads and grass with a frog in the middle of the day, the hottest part of the day. And it's at 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Sun straight up above, not coming from the sideways, so you have the most maximum shade out there. So that's how I approach dog days of summer. Or you fish first thing in the morning, real early, late in the afternoons, and in the evenings, when there's a lot more shade that's on the water. So that's kind of how I approach the dog days of summer. Next question. Come on. Great question. How long do you wait to set the hook on a bass when you're fishing a topwater bait? Well, the one thing for me when I'm fishing topwater baits is I'm all about contrasting colors when it comes to frogs. So if I'm fishing that perfectly green cheese frog mat that's up there, well, I'm gonna throw a bright colored frog, a white one, or something brown or black that I can see real well. I'm all about, when I see the bite, I wait till I don't see any color, and that's when I set the hook. That half a second pause that you give makes the difference on a frog hook set. When I'm throwing a buzz bait, it's not about waiting until you feel the fish. You're winding that buzz bait and he eats that. When you're fishing that buzz bait on braided line, or that walking that spook on braided line, you wait till you feel that fish, and all you have to do is keep reeling, and that braid will bury those hooks into that fish. It's not about waiting, it's all about the feel on the hook set. But a frog, when I don't see any color, that's when I set the hook. So, but real quick on frog fishing, I tell this story a lot about making sure that you have the right equipment. So I won an FLW event, this is 7, 8 years ago. Draw a guy, and he's my co-angler for the day. I'm in first place, he's in first place, we're going to the last day. He's like, well, what do I need to do? I said, you need a frog rod and you need a flipping stick. I said, make sure your frog rod has 50-pound, 65-pound braid on there, 7 foot, 7'4". He shows up with a spinning rod and 30-pound test braided line. I tell him, you don't have the right equipment. It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. He goes, oh, I'll be fine, I'll be fine. So we pull up to the first spot, throw my frog out there in this perfect hole. I know there's a bass there. Throw it, work my frog, work my frog, work my frog, nothing. This side, work my frog. I literally make 10 casts to this hole. and I know that there's a bass there. He's got his spinning rod, he's got a 30-pound braid. He goes, man, I'm more accurate. So he throws his frog. His frog goes, ooh, and I watch it. Splat, right in the middle of the hole. Doesn't even move it. Eats it. Well, you guys ever seen that ugly stick commercial where a guy takes the rod and bends it all the way to the butt of the rod? Well, that's this guy with the spinning rod. I got him, and you hear this thing. This drag is and I'm like, you ain't got him. He goes, yeah, you gotta go up in there. I'm like, I'm not gonna go tear up my mat. You don't have the fish, just pull it out of there. He goes, you gotta go in there. So I control him on high, cut through the perfect grass mat with this big old hole in it, reach down, grab the grass and his frog and go, here you go. No bass. He goes, how did I miss him? I said, you don't have the right equipment. Here we go again. All right, I said, dude, I've got 8 frog rods in my boat. I will loan you one. He goes, no, I'm more accurate. I catch all my frog fish on this spinning rod and stuff. All right, go down there, I catch a 4, I catch a 6. I'm like, life's good. Catch a couple other keepers, pull up to this, another hole in this grass mat. Perfect. Work my frog. I mean, I got my frog like dancing with the stars going on in this hole. Next thing you know, here's this frog come. Lands in the hole. Doesn't move it. Oh, another one. Eats it. I got him. I swear I got him. Ugly stick commercial all over again. Rod bent to the butt of the rod. Can't take it. Drag singing. I'm like, no, you don't. This guy loses another big one. He ends up drop shotting a tiny limit. Those 2 fish alone would have won him the tournament. He ends up finishing 3rd. Having the right equipment when you show up to a lake will allow you to catch and land more fish, and that's superbly important. So folks, spend the time, get the education, come to these seminars, listen to all the guys, ask questions. I will be at, where am I going to be? I'll be at Soremouth, yes, I'll be there too. But I'm usually around one of the tackle dealers to sit here and talk to you, but mostly Soremouth, talk to you guys about rods, reels. You have another question? Right, this will be the last one before I gotta go. The question is, why do you have a lower gear ratio for fishing crankbait? Okay, the reason that you're hearing about lower gear ratios, when I'm throwing a square bill, I won't throw it on a 5-to-1 gear ratio. I throw it on a minimum of a 6-3-to-1 or a 7-to-1 gear ratio. Deep diving crankbaits, I don't throw on a 5-to-1 gear ratio. Most people throw them on a 5-to-1 gear ratio because they want to throw that bait out there and not feel the torque that comes back. You fish it on a 6-3-to-1, you have to just slow down your retrieve. A lot of guys out there, Rick Clunn uses a 7-to-1 gear ratio reel, one of the best crankbait fishermen. Kevin Van Dam uses a 6-3 or a 7-to-1 gear ratio reel. Skeet Reese uses a 7-to-1 gear ratio reel. The time that these guys go down to 5-to-1 gear ratios is so minimal that I'm going to tell you to not buy one because you won't use it that much. And it's going to defeat the purpose. What you're doing with that is you're throwing a square bill on a 5-4 to gear ratio reel, you're winding that thing, he's going to come up behind that thing, he's going to push that square bill and then open his mouth and you'll never catch up and hook that fish. So that's why the best crankbait fishermen in the world don't use 5-to-1 gear ratio reels. And it just tells you something. So I tell people all the time, that's why you can't find them, because that was kind of one of those things where the materials of the reels that guys were using at the time made it tough. They were heavy, so they wanted a low gear ratio because it just made it hard to fishing. Now, with the lightness of the rods, the action of the rods, the materials of the reels, the lightness of the reels, 6-3-to-1 minimum, 7-to-1, if you're okay with that, you can slow yourself down. Well, I appreciate you guys coming out to the show. I'll be around here all day. Come and grab me. Any questions?
You want me to hold your stuff?
Well, that's good. I didn't lock the house or anything.
It's harder.